Well, welcome to Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. This is your Tarotscope reading for the month of May. Hope everyone is doing well and enjoying the weather, enjoying the season wherever it is that you're at. So I am in the Northern Hemisphere. We are in spring. It's another beautiful spring day here. I am in New Jersey. So welcome if you are new, and welcome back if you are a regular viewer. And we're going right into it. We are going into Taurus. So I do the readings with all of the same elements together, all the earth elements together, all the fire elements, air and water. For me, that just seems to make sense, although I know that some people some of us do like the separate individual readings. Okay, so a bunch of cards pulled over, so let's them back in. So we're starting off the Moonology decks and see what this month of May holds for Taurus. Now we know that this is the season of Taurus, but as we get towards the end of the month, around the 20th, 21st, we go into Gemini season. So some of these things will be rooted in some earth energy, and then some of the readings will shift and change into a more thoughtful or more precise energy of Gemini. So let's just see how the cards pull out. So this is for your Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. So if you have a Taurus friend, you have Taurus somewhere in your Sun, Moon, or Rising, you have a Venus placement you're curious about, share this with your friends or take a deeper dive, and let's see. So this is for Taurus. And your first card from the Moonology deck is New Moon in Aquarius, open up to change. And just look at that. New Moon in Taurus. And we just had the New Moon in, this is New Moon in Aquarius. We just had the New Moon in Taurus. And just look at the picture. Isn't that beautiful? Almost looks like the cherry blossoms, although I don't think that's what that is. So let's dig into this. Open up to change, which is the perfect card, because we know we are all in this big shift and change on personal levels, on deep spiritual levels, right? We are finally starting to take control of our life and do things our way. So let's see what the change is for you. So New Moon in Aquarius, open up to change. And again, this is for our Taurus friends. Big changes are forecast, but you need to let events unfold with as little steering as possible from you. Sometimes you just need to take a bit of space from a person or a situation. So take a little step back, right? If you know you've been too emotional about someone or something, this card offers you the chance to cool things down. A rational, even slightly aloof assessment of your current circumstances is called for. Allow for things to develop. Try to think of your situation from a different angle. Now, someone yesterday, I did the fire signs yesterday, and it was about like letting go of control, right? So let things unfold as they are meant to unfold. This card is an especially good sign for matters related to friends and networks, a wish coming true, science, tech, or online dating. Be yourself. Independence doesn't have to mean loneliness. A group of people rather than one person may be the ones to help you. Okay, so open up to change for our dear Taurus friends. We'll pull a card from the Moon Witch deck. It's a tiny little deck. And we'll see what that holds for you. So open up to change. Change is a good thing, although change is not Taurus's favorite thing, right? And we get that. You're trying to set the foundation for something bigger, but you like to sit in the foundation and the groundedness of things. This is Isis. Cast spells, protect, and heal. So, and there's a Scorpion right in the middle of there, which is a water sign. And this came up yesterday in the with the fire signs. I believe it was Leo, but I'm not sure. Pulled the new moon in Taurus card and the new moon in Scorpio, and they are polar opposites on the zodiacal wheel. Oh, sorry. I don't know. Sorry. Something's going crazy on the screen. They are polar opposites on the zodiacal wheel. So this could also, because you're Taurus and if your opposite sign is Scorpio. So this could also, for you, mean balancing things out or allowing more balance in your life. You're a little more grounded, or feeling a little stuck, or maybe a little set in your ways. Maybe allow room for expansion and for things, again, being open to change, which is a little bit of a balancing act for our Taurus friends. So let's pull out your tarot cards and see what they hold for you here. So this is very interesting. 2 days in a row, we had the Taurus Scorpion axis pulled for two different signs, two different elements, fire and earth. And I believe it was Leo, but I don't remember quite sure. And the only reason I say that is because there is a Scorpion on this card. So the cards are not always about the words on the cards, right? There are pictures, there are symbols, and there is the understanding that just because a card hasn't been pulled or hasn't fallen out of the deck, that card is still there depending on what cards have been laid, right? Whatever came before or after that card and its lineage. So let's see what happens here for our Taurus friends as we go into the month of May. And Northern Hemisphere, we are leading into spring. In the Southern Hemisphere, I believe you are in your fall season. So we have two cards face down. Taurus, you're not pulling out your cards today, so we'll just see what, here we go. So, and as soon as I say that, Page of Pentacles. Two cards face down, and then we have the Page of Pentacles, which is, an earth, is associated with the earth element. So pages, they like to have fun. So we'll see what comes up for you. But this could be going into a new endeavor and kind of having fun with something new. Opening up to change and having fun with it instead of being a little fearful of it. Sorry, when too many cards pull out, then I put them back in. We have four cards face up, four cards face down, one card face up. It would be nice if I could. Okay, 3 more cards popped out, so we will stop there. On the root of your deck is the Devil. Interesting. What are we attached to? Justice. This card came out several times yesterday. An 8 of Wands, so fast movement. So let's see what your reading is under your tarot. So Taurus, we have the 4 of Pentacles, the King of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the Magician, the Star. We have the root of the deck, and we have 3 cards face down. So you're moving in a new direction. You're not doing things the way you've been doing them recently or for a while. You're starting to change. I almost want to think you're starting to believe in your ability. Sorry, that was my cat. To create your own life. You're starting to become a little more independent. Now, and this was just in the reading here, right? Independence does not mean loneliness, but having a group of people around you. I think you're starting to step out of a comfort zone because we have the Four of Pentacles, and she's clutching her purse, and and this card, like she's looking over her shoulder towards the village or the mountains behind her, as if she's protecting herself or she's afraid that someone is going to take something. Now, Four of Pentacles is also like building your foundation. But then you have the King of Swords. And it's like, there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's no reason to look over your shoulder. You start to own your own strength and your own ability to create and to hold on to the abundance and the wealth that you're creating. Because we have our Page coming in along with the Magician and the Star. So we'll go into all of these. The new opportunities coming your way, and remembering like you have everything within you. So might be some veil. They're telling me it's a veil being lifted. So we might look at it as a mental block that's been impeding your personal growth. But they're telling me that the spiritual veil is starting to be lifted or opened up, and you're remembering. Again, you're no longer sitting in this place of, I have to hold on to everything that I have. I'm afraid somebody's going to take it on me. You're very wise. You've learned a lot, and now you're looking straight forward into your path, even if you don't know where you're going. You're starting to relax a little bit, dear Taurus. You're starting to let the shoulders drop down, let the earth underneath of you soften, because you know you have everything within you. And it looks like he's casting spells, and this card, you pulled the card of Isis, cast spells. Now, today's May 1st. I did my cinnamon spell this morning, to protect you and to heal you from the need of separating yourself, to heal you from whatever fear or doubt, or maybe something happened in the past that people took from you, or they were dishonest with you and you gave a lot of yourself. Now you're wise. You learned the lesson as to how to discern where to give your focus, your energy, and your trust to. And then you start to relax a little bit and you go, oh, wait a minute. This is my life. This is my journey. And this has been a really big theme all year long. I get to do this my way. I was born with everything I need. And this, although this is not the Temperance card, and we'll see if the Temperance made its way out here, but this is alchemizing. You are, again, cast spells. You are starting to create your own alchemy. You are shifting one thing to another, one way of being to another way of being, one way of thinking to a new way of thinking. You have faith in yourself. So some of you may have lost faith or in yourself or your ability to create what it is you want. And this could be from societal teachings. I'm very big on some of the societal teachings are meant to keep us small and not meant for expansion. So when we start to break free of the societal expectations, people tend to get a little cranky about that, right? But you have everything in there. Look at the hands. There's energy from the hands to the water back in, right? This is an exchange. There are little lights coming out. So you're starting to alchemize yourself. You're starting to step into a much deeper power or strength or inner knowing or wisdom, Taurus, than you realize. And you're having, this is generally the star follows the Tower in the tarot. So there could be a little bit of a breakdown of a situation. And the star tends to mean hope. But for you, you have faith, your renewed faith in yourself, in your ability to create. Why? Because you're acknowledging that change is a part of life. And you're allowing yourself to open up to change and the possibilities that it brings. So let's see our other cards that are face down. Yeah, Nine of Swords, the Empress, the High Priestess. High Priestess came out for Sagittarius yesterday. Empress, I think, came out for Leo. It came out yesterday. Nine of Swords, like you're done. Like you're done getting lost in your thoughts or being lost in the dark. Feeling like you're in the dark and you can't see a way out. Like this is done for you. You're focusing on your higher self. Again, you have faith in yourself. This is your choice to connect and to open up to your, not only to your faith, but to your abilities within yourself. I mean, she's giving birth to the world. You have some really great ideas coming up for you, Taurus. You have new opportunities. You're going someplace really big. And this is the first earth sign. So not only have you set the foundation, but you have planned out like the whole community. And you've got the devil, right? This, and this. Like these are done. The devil, unhealthy attachments, right? What is it that you could not resist or you felt you couldn't say no to? And out of that, you feel like you have to protect yourself. And that protection, you may have caused yourself nightmares and false thoughts. And that's done, right? You have justice. Things are working out. Things are starting to balance. Again, this is that balance and harmony between Scorpio and this is Scorpio. Between Scorpio and Taurus. You literally have balance. I said that in the very beginning. Once you start to allow yourself to have full faith in yourself, things will move very, very quickly. You're on a very quick path. And a lot of us are on a very, very quick path moving forward once you surrender and listen to your inner self, your inner knowing. Activate that sixth chakra, right? Right here, your intuition, your third eye. It leads to your crown chakra. And that is your connection to all that is. Not just to God, divine universe, to all. Lovely reading, Taurus. Let's pull out your Angel Dreams Oracle card. If you have any questions, this is again for your Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus placement. If you have any questions about these cards, put them in the comments or feel free to reach out to me. Because you're moving quick, Taurus. Some of it may feel a little uncomfortable for you, right? When it starts moving, where'd you go? You may feel a little overwhelmed, like, oh, wait a minute, like, this is too much. I can't handle this. But you know you can't go back to this. You know you've come a long way from this, from holding on to everything so tightly, right? That could be also holding on to control, which we know we really don't control anything at all. Open up to your inner witch, your inner wizard, your ability to create. Alchemy is just creating the life from sorrow and depression to joy and happiness or purpose. From having lack to having abundance, right? And be playful with it. The more lighthearted that we are, the easier it is for the energy to make its way, for the universe to deliver to us, because the lighter we are in the way we move, the easier it is for the energy to come in. And that's just how energy moves, right? If we allow ourselves to stay stuck, or if we sit there and say, I can't, and here you go. Dragonfly, transformation, magic, illusion. Okay? Let's see what this says for you. Okay, Dragonfly, transformation, magic, illusion. I'm loving this reading, Taurus. What a great way to start off our Earth readings, right? For our Earth signs. This card is reminding you to use creative imagination as a force within your life. It can transform your world. When you utilize your mind in this manner, you're actively expanding yourself physically. Do not allow illusion to hold you back. Where'd it go? He's an illusion. Do not let that hold you back. Know that nothing is permanent or set in stone. You can change your life. Dragonfly, weaver of dreams, is the symbol of transformation and new visions. I mean, really. This bringer of light also reminds you to keep yourself light, carefree, harness your light magic, and allow light divine inspiration to illuminate your path. Okay, we just talked about that. Lightheartedness, right? Creating, illuminating. All these cards came out for you. So there it is. So it is. Nothing can stop you unless you allow it. Peek behind the veil and discover the magic waiting for you. And I said at the very beginning, it feels like the veil has been lifted or the veil is starting to part. And then that comes up in your book. And let me just pull this out for a second. And this is, I'll show you, just so that you know. This is Dragonfly. That's your card. And then the next page is right here, about the veil. I mean, you can't make this up. There's no way. There's no way. So, Taurus, like, again, and your card from the Moon Witch deck, cast spells. So it's making magic. It doesn't have to be like this whole big thing. It can be something very small. Communing and getting out with nature. Setting an intention. A really good way is if you're sitting on the grass, you have your feet planted on the ground, barefoot. Place a hand on your heart and a hand on a tree. And just close your eyes and breathe. Connect. State your intention. And then let the energy flow into the tree and out into the universe. And then allow yourself to receive energy back from the tree. It doesn't have to be this whole big, spell and smoke and incense and, the cauldron. It doesn't have to be all that. Carry a little crystal with you as a reminder of your strength. Taurus, that is your reading. I hope this has been helpful. Maybe a little confusing at times, but hopefully helpful. And just one more thing. For the Magician has the infinity sign. So you are infinite and you are limitless. So don't forget that, Taurus. You have a lot to offer this world. You are our first earth sign. You are the one who has set the foundation. And boy, are you setting a big foundation moving forward in May. So that is for our Taurus. Let me kind of get these back in here. And we will go on to our Virgo friends. Hello, Virgo. How are you? And a special hello to my friend Margot, who's one of my favorite Virgos out there. And we'll get you all settled in here. I just like to put the cards back in, especially the tarot. Stagger them in a little bit because they have a tendency, for some reason, to come back out together, even when I stagger them. And we know this. So, okay, Virgo, how are you? How are my Virgo friends? Happy May. Now, what does May hold for our Virgo friends? Oh, they're such joyful people. I love Virgos. I say this all the time. And we know we all have signs that we resonate with a little more than others. And that's just human nature, right? But I just love the energy of Virgos. They're very practical and they're fun. So yeah. So, and again, they keep me grounded and centered. So this is the Moonology deck for our Virgo friends, and we'll see what May holds for Virgo. Our planners, our logistical ones, right? Okay. This came out. First quarter moon in Capricorn. Unleash your kindest self. Unleash your kindest self. And look at the green there for the earth. So let's see if we can find this in the book. Unleash your kindest self. Very interesting verbiage. So let's see. Okay, Virgo, here you go. Are you being too hard on yourself or on someone else? Do you think you need to be strict with yourself or other people to get where you want to go? Your challenge is to be disciplined in terms of doing what needs to be done to get what you want without taking all the joy out of it. Feeling good about life is one of the most powerful tools you have when it comes to manifesting. Be kind to yourself and be your most charming self. So yeah, right? Because Virgos are very linear. Like they have their plan, they have their thing. And sometimes in the process of trying to get the task done, they can just kind of just have tunnel vision and go forward. And we need that. But sometimes we need to take a step back and, not go quite so fast. Right? And trust that it's going to get done, even if it doesn't get done according to the plan at hand. It's good to be realistic, but you don't want to have, it's good to be realistic. Butting heads with others just wears you out in the end. So let me try this again. Butting heads with others just wears you out in the end. So get into the right mindset for manifesting by deciding you're no longer going to take the bait or provoke a situation. So, and this is the thing, if somebody is trying to throw you off, if they are trying to provoke you, you're going to stand tall in that and you're going to walk away and you say, you know what? I am not biting. I am not allowing myself to get into this situation. So that could be your transformation. Virgo is not having to be right, even if you are. Just saying, you know what? My time is better spent with people who value my skills and who love me, and I am not going to waste another moment with someone who is combative and trying to provoke me. So let's see what the Moon Witch deck holds for our Virgo friends. Just saying, I have been in that situation plenty of times myself. I allowed myself to be provoked, and now I'm like, screw you. I don't have time for you. You don't deserve my time. Curiosity. What sparks your interest? Oh, getting curious. Look at the flowers. What sparks your interest? So maybe changing your focus a little bit, right? Again, unleash your kinder self, changing your focus, still being focused, but allowing for the ebbs and flows of life to come in. So what piques your curiosity? Now, Taurus, we know, just had the card of, casting spells. So are you leaning into something of your supernatural self? And we all have a supernatural element of ourselves. Even if we don't explore it, doesn't mean it's not there. It just means you've chosen not to explore it. But it's still there, right? All right, so what are you trying to explore here? What are you wanting to explore, Virgo? And maybe it is about your mindset, about being kinder to yourself. Maybe you're really hard on yourself if things don't go according to your plan. Yeah, so let's see though. Let's see where your curiosity is going to take you in the month of May. Now for our fire signs, the cards came out fairly quickly. Again, Page of Pentacles, being a little more lighthearted. The Emperor. So again, being kinder to yourself, being a little more playful and not quite as serious. Yes, the things will get done. Page of Cups, playing with your intuition. I love this. I'm going to show you this card. I did not notice this on the card before. So allowing yourself some dream time, right? To explore the what if. You know, what if I just was a little more playful? Five of Swords, like getting out of your mind, right? So this is very interesting. The Tower. Now, we just had the Star come up, which is the card after the Tower for Taurus. So let's see. This is really interesting reading today. We'll go to the root of the deck. Nine of Pentacles. Everything is working out for you guys. Seven of Cups. Two of Wands. Okay, so let's go into this. For our Taurus friends, we have the Page of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Page of Cups. You have two pages, which is a really joyful, youthful energy. Like they're having a fun in life. What I love about this card, which I never noticed this before, there's a little piggy on here with wings. Like, you know that saying, like, you know, this will happen like when pigs fly. Well, maybe you believe in magic. In the magic of the universe. You know, we still, even as adults, when we blow out those birthday candles, there's still a secret wish in there that we say. If you see the first star in the sky at night, if you're out walking, you can't help but like do that little starlight, star bright, right? So maybe this is about your curiosity is believing in magic. Believing in your ability to create magic, because our Taurus friends were alchemizing things. They were creating their own magic. They were creating the life that they want. Maybe being a little, you have the two pages here, Cups and Water, which they both, Cups, which is water, and Pentacles, which is earth, which, you know, water feeds earth, earth supports water. And again, opposites on the wheel, right? So having some lightheartedness. The pages don't wonder if this is possible. Like they know that it's possible. Right? It's possible for me to stand on top of the earth and to dream about what I want. And I'm standing tall above the trees because this is where I want to go. I want to rise to my highest ability. And the Page of Cups, he's just dreaming about life. And if you see here, I mean, this could be a romantic thing, but like there's like two little hands making a heart shape. And like he's just kind of floating off into space, like dreaming, like what is possible for me? Open yourself up to possibilities. Again, the Page of Pentacles is standing on top of the mountain. And he's high above the trees. And then you have the Emperor, which is the highest one. It's not the highest, but it is the like the father card, the parent card in the major arcana. So this is the one who sets down, who makes the rules and sets the lessons, right? And this is the one who teaches. He's very wise. He is the father figure. The Emperor and the Empress are the parental figures in the major arcana. And to get here, maybe he wasn't so strict and linear, but maybe he was curious about life, and maybe he allowed himself to dream and allowed himself some playfulness because he knew He was going to be the leader of his home, his family, his village. And looks like he's just quite comfortable. Like sitting literally on top of the world. He's like, I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the mountain. Because I'm climbing to be on top of the world. So it's about playfulness. Now, for some of our Virgos, this could be hard. It could be messing with the thoughts in your mind because like part of you wants to be very linear and wants to have the plan and the logic. But life is not always logical. Sometimes it's about feeling. Sometimes it's about trusting. Sometimes it's about dreaming into the fantasy. And here's the thing, Virgo, if you don't allow yourself to get curious, right, then you're going to have a disruption. Something's going to throw you off to prove to you that there's more than one way to get to where you're going. And once you have that, then everything starts to fall into place. So we're all the signs so far are going through this little bit of disruption or this shake-up or pulling us out of where we're at, like unsticking us or peeling back veils as we had for Taurus. Once you allow the earth underneath you to get a little unsettled, to loosen up a little bit, then there's a whole world of abundance waiting for you. And this is the cultivation of this. And then from here, it is this. So if you're resisting, then you have to go through a little shake-up. And then what happens? Then you get to come back into the dream. Right? Both of these cards, he is dreaming of like what could be, and he is dreaming of how can I make this happen? With all these different options. And he's playing with the grounded options, the very logical options, and the fantasy options. And then you realize maybe you haven't been dreaming about the life that you want. Or maybe you're just coming into the realization that the world is literally at your feet. You get to stand on top of this world and you get to claim your space in this life. I think for some of you it's going to be a little harder. Just because we get and I've been through my own tower moments, many tower moments, and a lot of them for the same lesson because we get a little resistance, right? But here we go. Get curious. Be a little softer on yourself. And in doing so, like, you get to dream about the world that you want for yourself. It's right there. You hold the wand right in your hand. You hold the ability to alchemize and create. Now, this is a wand or a rod. It could also be considered like a magic wand, right? What magic do you want to create in your life? If our Tauruses were casting spells or learning how to alchemize, what next step are you going to, from what they taught you, where are you going to take this next level? Love it, Virgo. Let's pull out your Angel Dreams Oracle card, and we'll see what that holds for our Virgos. So yeah, a little bit of a lesson here for our Virgos. And it's all about leaning into curiosity. You have 2 pages here. Have fun. Laugh. If things don't fit the list or the schedule or the plan, then maybe it's time for a new plan. I'll take the card that fell out because that's what we do. Premonition. Prophecy. Ooh. So let's see what this says. So if we'll read this first. But if Taurus was learning how to make magic, and tuning in to their third eye and their higher consciousness, because they had the High Priestess card. Let's see what this says. Trust your instincts and your ability to know, see, feel, and hear the prophetic messages that are coming to you now from the divine. The dream appearances of circles, the number 3, and awakening with a sense of knowingness all denote prophecy. This card also reminds you that premonitions are to be respected. They might come to you through symbolic images or intuitive feelings. You are being prepared for an event that is about to occur unless you change your course of action. There is no destined outcome. That's very interesting. You are being prepared for an event that is to occur, a tower moment maybe, unless you change your course of action. Get a little kinder. Accept the curiosities of life. Archangels Camuel and Raziel are associated. Stay present. Be in the here and now. Live in the moment. Use your imagination to actively create and shape your world. Right? You have your imagination cards right here. He's dreaming, and he's trying to put the dream into reality. Like, what do I need? What do I have at my fingers? What is accessible to me? If you are resistant, the tower will show up. And you get to choose. So exhale. Just exhale. Do some yoga. Always my my go-to. Do some yoga. Move the energy through your body and ask for guidance. It's all good, Virgo. I have full faith in you that this is going to be a wonderful month for you. Let me put the cards back in, and we will go to our Capricorns. Like the king and the queen of the kingdom. They're the majestic signs. They're associated with royalty. I told you my grandmother was born on January 1st. So, not the first day of Capricorn, but the first day of the new year. So, very powerful day. So, let's go into our Capricorn. Capricorn, this is your reading for the month of May. How is Capricorn doing? So what does Moonology manifestation right away? Right away. It's like, okay, this is it. Last quarter moon in Libra, make time for self-love. So love on yourself, Capricorn, because you're so busy taking care of everyone else. And look, she's sitting there on the edge. She's got the little world in her hand. And she's putting this, it could even be like her Reiki energy, and she's just holding it in her hand and allowing herself to heal. Well, that'd be interesting to see what you're healing from. The last quarter moon in Libra. Make time for self-love. Have you been trying to please all of the people all the time when you're not yet quite happy with yourself? And it's a very earth energy, which is probably why Virgo was like, why the Tower card came out, like to be a little more lighthearted, right? There's a difference between wanting to live positively and spiritual bypassing when you refuse to acknowledge your feelings. You can't fool the universe, so pretending to be happy when you're sad will get you nowhere. Rather, you need to deal with your feelings so that, fake it till you make it. If you're not feeling well, if you're feeling unhappy, you don't need to go out and just announce it all over the place. But you do have to acknowledge that you're going through a tough time, or maybe you had that Tower moment in Virgo and it's resonating into Capricorn, and you're trying to get your footing, right? Rather, you need to deal with your feelings. That's the only way. If you're people pleasing, then stop. Think about what's going on and why you're doing it. If you're in an unbalanced relationship, address the situation. While it's lovely to do things nicely, they also need to be done well. Be sincere. The way to get in the manifesting zone is to work through all your stuff. So this could be some shadow work. Once you've done that, you become a clear signal for your desires. So, and this is not surprising because our earth signs, they are the structural elements for life. Taurus, right? They lay the foundation. Virgo, they start to build the structure. And then Capricorn, they complete the series. They bring in the decor. They all love luxury. They all love the comforts of life. But they can be giving too much of themselves out and not enough into them. So Capricorn, you get to take some time. Make time for you to love yourself, right? Just close your eyes, breathe in, take a yoga class, have a spa day, whatever it is that you want. Have a really luscious meal, a really decadent dessert. Right? What does that feel for you, Capricorn? Like, what is self-love? And this is not self-care. It is self-love, like really loving yourself for who you are. And then treating yourself like the royalty that you are. So let's pull a card from the Moon Witch deck for our Capricorn friends. And we'll see what this says. Cast a circle. Healthy boundaries are crucial for growth. And she's holding a sphere or a circle in her hand, right? So again, healthy boundaries. And this talked about, are you constantly giving to others? So setting a healthy boundary for yourself and saying yes when it's appropriate, but saying, you know what, I'm not available for that right now. When it's not. And that's hard because, again, our earth signs, they are the ones that they feel a deep responsibility to make sure everything and everyone is okay. They are the foundations of this world. So if the foundation doesn't feel right, then they will go in and fix it, even if they are exhausted. So put some boundaries up, Capricorn. And they can be soft, fluid boundaries. Just about balance, justice. First card to come out. That's a big sign. And this is Libra. And 4 of Pentacles. So let's just see. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm going to see what the rest of the cards say. Oh boy. Capricorn. You're getting on fire, Capricorn. I love it when the earth signs get a little fired up. You get that passion going. Now, I'm going to go into this 4 of Pentacles because it's going to have a different meaning in this reading than it did when it came up to Taurus. I'm sorry, if you hear the truck outside. There's always something happening here, no matter when I record. Again, the High Priestess. It doesn't matter when I record. There's always a truck, a lawnmower, a bang. A something happening. Yeah, okay, let's see. Okay, that's it. The root of the deck, the star, and this came out for your Taurus friends. The star, the Hermit, the Knight of Cups. So let's get into this for our dear Capricorns. And all of your cards are face up, Capricorn. So readers don't always put a whole lot of stock into that card's face that come up face up or face down. But sometimes when they come all face up, like you're ready to hear the message. Sometimes when cards are face down, like maybe the delivery needs to be a little different. We'll see. So your first card, Justice, balancing things out. You're always giving, and You're like the guard at the gate, like the king or queen of the kingdom. Because you have the King of Pentacles that came up, by the way. So you're always making sure everyone else is taken care of, but you have to fuel yourself. You have to feed yourself. This goes into casting a circle, setting healthy boundaries. Four of Pentacles. Now this is going to come up a little differently for Capricorn than it did for Taurus. For Taurus, it was the feeling of like looking over your shoulder, not trusting, kind of keeping things in or hoarding things. For Taurus, however, this is very true. Like you've been giving so much away, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. And this is a sign, again, right? Maintaining balance, setting boundaries, creating time for self-love. You've been giving a lot away, so now you need to hold things in for yourself, or that coin purse is going to be empty, and there'll be no more coins. So if you're holding, this is completely different. So when you start to read tarot, the cards don't always mean the same thing in each reading. It depends on what's coming up, what energy is around it. So yeah, you need to kind of rein things in a little bit, Capricorn. You need to kind of rein things in because you're the king, queen of the castle. You're not going to get here if you're not setting boundaries. Everyone else is going to come in and kind of pillage from you and take advantage of you. And that's not what you want. If you have here, and you know that. Again, the High Priestess is coming up again. That sixth chakra radiating straight up to the all-knowing. And you know that. And you're learning this. You have the Lovers, the Four of Wands, the Page of Wands. It's time to let your hair down. Time to give yourself some freedom. Like, you know you work hard. You know you've been giving everything to everyone else. And part of self-love is allowing others to love you. Whether it is this deep, passionate, rip your clothes off, run through the house naked, passionate love. Or if it's just allowing yourself to receive from others. That could also be a boundary. Who you allow to come into your circle, who you allow to love you. But you've replenished, you've depleted yourself so much. Balance. Giving and receiving. You're in the receiving mode, Capricorn. Allow yourself to receive. Fill your cup up. Fill your love cup up. Your energy. And then when you do that, man, you're having fun. Look at this. Two wands back to back. Four of Wands, Page of Wands. And they're just out there having a good old time. Like, they are not worried about anything. They're not worried about, okay, I need to keep this in for myself because I've depleted myself. They're allowing themselves to be loved. And I would just bring up, this is a Sagittarius Archer here. So that is, although the Lovers is associated with the sign of Gemini, Gemini's opposite is Sagittarius, and that's all about passion and receiving and giving. Once you allow that duality, that balance of giving and receiving, loving yourself, and you're having such a good time. Look at this. The whole world opens up. You're lighthearted. You're free-spirited. You're like, this is really what I needed. Love myself a little bit. Let people love me. And then look at this. A happy home, a good time. We're just kind of dancing freely out into the world. You have Knight of Cups, right? Let yourself be loved. Love yourself. And let yourself be loved by others. Some of you have this feeling that you're not. Let yourself be loved. He's here. This energy is here. This energy wants to come in and fully love you. I mean, look at this. He's got not just the roses and the white horse. He's got like a little picnic here set up. He's got a bowl. He's got a little love letter here. He's got some fruits in the basket. Let yourself be wined and dined. Let yourself be wooed. Let yourself live in this energy, because this is the energy that you're cultivating in May. And you sit there and you go, oh, the Hermit, the Star. Again, faith in yourself, allowing yourself to receive. This energy is coming straight down from the universe into her. Divine energy coming straight down from the divine, straight into her. Allowing yourself to be open. Allowing yourself to be a little vulnerable. Allowing yourself to feel and to receive. Capricorn, I cannot wait. Let me know this new romance is coming up, how you're loving yourself. And again, loving yourself can be, the self-care, the things, the spas or whatever. Or it can really be tuning into like, I love the person that I am. I love my kind-heartedness. I love the fact that I make sure everyone is taken care of. And I love the fact that in taking care of everyone else, making sure they're safe, that I let myself be safe. I love that I let others love me. So that's, look into that. Let me know how that resonates, Capricorn. This is what I'm picking up. So let's see your Angel Dreams Oracle deck for our Capricorn friends. This has been a reading for our earth signs. Getting out of your comfort zone, earth signs. This is pretty much all of you guys are getting out of your comfort zone and finding a freedom that you maybe didn't know was available to you, right? A little wild freedom, a little Sagittarius freedom. Winter, reflection, transition, and release. Look at that. And winter, right? Capricorn is a winter sign. It starts on the first day of winter, on the winter solstice. So how fitting. Let me see. Next to the last page, winter. And again, just look at the artistry on here. This card is asking you to take a moment to retreat inside to discover the truth about the matter at hand and what steps you need to take. Do not move into action. It's time to draw your energies inward for introspection and reflection. Keep any plans or projects you are thinking about on the shelf. Winter heralds the dying off of that which does not serve you. The leaves of a tree are shed in order to make room for spring's buds. You too need that time to release the old. With this release, right? Release the old, right? Release the old of having to take care of everyone else and not take care of yourself. Release the old of not having any boundaries and actually setting boundaries. With this release, you will allow the new to bloom when the timing is right. Archangels are Haniel, Jeremiah, and Jophiel. The old is dying off. Allow the time needed for this transition. Incubate your plans, ideas, and energy until it's the best moment to share them. Work with the crone or sage aspect of yourself in order to impart wisdom, compassion, and truth. So this is tuning in to this energy, the High Priestess. Enjoy a life review. Reflect back on your past to appreciate the lessons you've gained. So again, a little bit of shadow work here for you guys. I don't think it's going to be a whole lot. But shadow work does not have to be this big, dark, mysterious thing, right? It's a reflection. What did you learn? And how are you going to use that information moving forward? So Capricorn, that is your reading for the month of May. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, this is your reading for the month of May. I hope you have found some inspiration, maybe some questions, maybe a little discomfort, right? But that's part of the ebb and flow of life. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments or feel free to reach out to me directly. And until next time, always I send you light and love from my soul, Taurus. All right, everyone, take care. I will see you soon.